Hey, Virginia, guess what?
What?
You're pregnant. This is the Bowls of Life podcast. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Virginia. Oh, as we've gone through life, we've learned something important.
Life is messy. It gets complicated.
But we've also learned that we can create tools to help us jump into the mess of life and make an adventure of it.
Welcome to our messy adventures in faith, family, and food.
That note is too small for me to read that far.
Well, get better eyes.
Well, I would like to.
I'll work on that. Well, you talk then. That means you got to talk while I work on this. Okay. Keep going. Come on.
Well, thanks for spilling the beans.
You're welcome. Was that exactly how you planned on announcing it as a part of this podcast episode, or no?
I figured it would be in the title, so I figured it would already be spoiled.
I was going to not. I think I was going to say life update or something like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Which
we are.
a good many people know, so
Yes,
not like it's a big
The majority of our listeners probably are already aware.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're pregnant with number 4.
Number 4.
How you feel about that?
It's funny because when I tell people, I feel like I have to remind them, like, it's number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, maybe not remind them, but, like, let them know, like, if they don't,
like you just got to tell people, like, this is my 4th kid.
This is 4.
Yeah.
And also there's a level of, like, the responses I've gotten.
Ooh, talk about those.
The shock of having a 4th kid.
Do you know what causes that?
I don't get that question.
I do. Regularly.
Really? I know you. I heard it once.
No, I literally had someone today, as soon as I told him, looked at me and went, so you know what? And I was like, yes, I'm well aware of things.
Oh my gosh. That's so annoying. No, I don't get that response. But I get like a shocked, like, what? Oh my goodness. Because, we literally just had a baby last year.
Yeah, that's true.
And then also, like, I guess because I was telling Hannah, our friend who lives away from here now.
Yes.
It was like, she was like, oh, I hear, congratulations is in order. And I was like, yeah. I was like, number 4. Like, we had a baby last year, but I haven't seen you in like several years. So this is 4.
Be clear on how many this is. We're having 4 of them. Yes, we are well aware that 4 is more than 3. Yes, we know they cost more. Yes, we know what causes them. Here we are. It's fun.
We wanted 4.
We wanted them, or the 4th one snuck up on us. The 3rd one snuck up on us. It's
they're
fine.
all
it's
like,
blessings from the Lord.
Oh, my word.
Hey, it wouldn't be podcasting if
Storm
didn't snore.
wasn't snoring, which I still don't know how much our listeners can hear, but
sometimes they can, sometimes they can't.
It's really loud.
Yeah, that's true. What's something you're loving about being a mom of 3 with a 4th one on the way? Or just a mom of 3 if with a 4th one on the way is too specific of a question.
What is something I'm loving
about being a mom of 3?
Oh, they're so cute.
They're so cute.
And they're
In what ways?
sweet.
What are they cute? Like, obviously they're cute looking, but
well,
like,
they're just adorable. I love watching them learn.
Yeah.
Like, as they learn new things and learn to do new things, that's always fun. Like Stella, she's 15 months now, and she's just watching her older siblings and just trying to do what they do. And so she follows them around and, like, I don't know, she just mimics. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool.
As she gallops along.
As she gallops. She gallops.
She like jump skips with that left foot or something
This is with her right. She leads with her right hip. Yeah, we had a conversation with the nurse practitioner today. I think she's fine, but just making sure she wasn't.
Double checking. We didn't
she wasn't like bow-legged or something.
Wrong, but just, double checking.
Get those hips checked out.
You were there anyway. Why not ask?
Right. So anyways, that's fun. And then the other thing is just watching them, like, interact with one another, like in the positive ways, of course, the not so fun ways when they're fighting and stuff, but I really enjoy watching them. Like tonight, for example, I don't normally, I try not to ask Luna to do things for Stella that would be like the job of a parent. But every now and then it's like, ask for her help, or I offer, like, do you want to? I typically ask, do you want to? So she has the opportunity to say no. Like buckling Ezra in. I'm like, do you want to buckle Ezra in? Because to me, it's like, that's very helpful if you do, but if you don't want to, it's totally fine. Sometimes she says no. But anyways, tonight it was Stella, for some reason, got on a kick of wanting to be fed with the fork instead of feeding herself.
Yep.
So I said, Luna, do you want to try feeding her with the fork?
Which Luna was already trying to
help her.
And help with her. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was actually walking over there to do that. We were both going to grab the fork at the same time. So I was like, well, do you want to do it? So anyways, she started feeding her with the fork. I was just like so excited, and it was so cute. And she started singing to her and dancing. And so Stella was like dancing back. And I've seen Ezra too. Like he'll walk up to Stella and be like, "Aw, baby," and just like love on her. That's not always the case, but it's just sweet to watch them be siblings and love one another and know that they have each other forever.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, I wasn't prepared to answer that question at all.
I had to throw it back.
Yeah. What was my question? Something loving
what are you
about
loving?
3?
Except you're a father, so what are you loving about being a father?
A father. That's a good question. They're all different to interact with and spend time playing with. Like 2 days ago, they were being a little chaotic, and we managed to get Stella and Ezra down for naps at about the same time. And I don't know, Luna was clearly feeling some sort of way, so just literally took her out of the house. I did, and we went to the pet store, and then we actually went in Best Buy and played on their Nintendo Switches for a minute, and then went to a park. And so it was fun kind of getting to hang out with her personality and just her for a little while. I don't get to do that as much. I get Ezra's personality pretty often because he's my kid. He's attached to me. Whether I want him to be or not, he's pretty attached to me. Yeah. It's okay. I like him. Yeah. They're all different and have all their own little quirky things. And Stella's in just fun age right now. They're always fun around this time where they're picking up things left and right, and they're just smiling and giggling and trying to keep up. And that's always fun. So, yeah. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, in the vein of parenting and things like that, you homeschooled a kid this year.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, that was fun and hard.
Uh-huh.
Just what I expected.
Yeah.
To be fun and hard. We found a group in the area, and our group just meets once a week. And we go to different parks. We go to a different park every week. And obviously they eventually do repeat, but there's a lot of parks around here.
Yeah.
And it's just all about free play. And I love it. And it's so nice. And it's ages from 0 to, I think the oldest one is like 12. So that's been really fun. Like one of my favorite experiences, I was just sitting nursing a sleeping Stella, and I was just looking around like, wow. I love this. There was a 12-year-old boy. We were at a pond. He had his fishing gear, and he was showing all the like 5, 6, 7-year-old girls and a few other kids how to fish. Like he was just showing them, he was letting them use his fishing rod. And he normally brings his like gaming gear. He's a hunter gamer kind of kid, and so he'll bring that kind of stuff along. And he likes to talk about it, and it's so fun. But he was. I was like looking over, and he's like interacting. Like, where do you don't really get to see that very often. Like, 12-year-old kid, like, basically pouring into a kid younger than them, with something that they love. And then the other thing I looked to my left, and there's this around 11-year-old, a group of 3, a girl and 2 boys, and they were acting out. They were imagination play. I don't know how you say that, but like
using their imaginations.
Yes. And they're acting out like Harry Potter. I was like, it's literally like Hermione, Ron, and Harry. Like, it's so cute. And they were just going all around the park. They had their wands, and he was like Petrificus Totalis, like across the way. And I was like, I love this so much. Because they're not just like sitting around on their phones. Like, it's precious. It is fun. It's full of imagination. And I love that. So that's our group.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was glad we found that this year. Lots of good community and again, interacting with kids of all ages and of the adults as well. So the other thing is just like the rhythm at home. I knew that would be the biggest challenge, and it still is.
Yep.
Just consistency and a good rhythm. And that probably won't, for me, be anything that I have under my belt for a few more years.
Sure.
And so my thought was like, it's probably just going to get harder before it gets easier. Because, as they get older, they get a little bit more independent. Mm-hmm. But we still have like little ones coming. So I think for me, that's going to just be the challenge. But I think the freedom in homeschool is that you don't have to stick to the same, objectives and progress reports as like a school does. Mm-hmm. Because, they're not being rated. You're not being rated at home for, your scores and all that kind of stuff.
You're not rating our kids.
No.
What are you doing here?
And so it's like you don't have, and it's not about that they're not going to be as, not going to be as smart or as capable as the kids their same age in a school. They just have more freedom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which is, that's homeschool. It's like it only takes, 30 minutes to an hour to do the actual like school objective lesson type stuff. And then the rest of the day is learning in other ways, mm-hmm. And with a 5-year-old, learning through play is the most important thing, honestly. Absolutely. So it's kind of just been fun, like letting go of what I'm, what I was like, what it was for me as a kid growing up in school is like which it was a lot chiller back then. Like you didn't have to know as much as you do now going into kindergarten back then. But still, like, just this thought of like having to have all this stuff down pat because they have to get through the grade and they have to get the test done and they have to get to the next grade, which is all fine and good, but like at home you don't have to do that. And so they still learn, but it's not necessarily slower in the sense that they get to it slower. It's just in a different way, which allows for more freedom. So that's been really fun, but it's something I'm like having to learn or unlearn, I guess. Is that it doesn't have to be so structured and so like curriculum heavy. Yeah. One podcast I listened to, I can't remember names right now, but the mom was really assuring she had 6 kids. 2 of them are, the twins. So it was like lots of babies there for a minute. And she had her daughter, who is now an adult, I think graduated college, or in college. She had her adult daughter come on. I think it was her oldest. And she was like, what I remember about those early years is just feeling like, we never did anything. And that I was just always having you help me with the babies and that sort of thing. And the daughter was like, my favorite part, she was like, what I remember most was getting to help you with the kids, like the younger siblings. And we just, like, it was just, I mean, it made me cry because it was just like the thing that she found most impactful in her homeschool was family, was being with her family. And she is a very well spoken and smart and it's successful like young adult. So it's like you can't even look at that and think, because she was like, we didn't do any science, we didn't do any, like, we just read a lot, because she was very literature heavy, which I mean, their degrees that her kids are going into are all very literature or oriented. But still it was just cool because it was like the thing that impacted her the most was family. And I'm like, that's honestly what's really important. What's, one of the most important things. Yeah. So that was really reassuring to not have to like put so much pressure on, especially for a 5-year-old, Yeah. So now I'm just like anticipating what it looks like, because we're bringing Ezra home. No more part-time kind of daycare stuff, mother's morning out. And then we're, of course, adding a 4th one in the end of the year. So
as you hold your head in anguish or concern,
just like, wow, in disbelief, I think. And I heard somebody say the other day, this was a combination, like a conversation, and I think something I read together, but this thought of like that homeschooling is, yes, obviously it's not for everyone, and it is somewhat of a privilege, but it comes with a lot of sacrifice too.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, some people might think that because you're homeschooling that, you know, I don't know, may think certain things about your family, but it comes with a lot of sacrifice.
Yep.
And that's, I just leave it at that. We don't have to get into that. But just like, I don't know, you just don't really see that sometimes when you think people are homeschooling, that they're just like, I don't know what people think about people. But anyways.
What are you looking forward to in the coming year of homeschooling? Obviously taking kind of slow down at the very least. Maybe not a full-on pause, but a hard slow down through the summer. What are you looking forward to in the coming school year?
Yeah.
Homeschool year, whatever you call it.
Yeah. I think that I do look forward to Ezra being a part a little bit more, because he was obviously at MMO a good bit, which we started to incorporate him more. I would pick him up early, just so he could come to group with us. But I think just like having, because there's been some really fun days where I've managed to get them all kind of synchronized in something towards homeschool, and just like kind of doing that seems really fun, like just all being around the table or around the playroom couch or something where we're learning, but it's just like, I don't know, it's all of us, but it's fun and they're enjoying it. It doesn't feel like school.
I like it.
So that'll be fun, I guess. And just like, I think I'm going to continue with the curriculum I'm on, just because it's fairly simple to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of look forward to like doing some other stuff potentially. I don't know. We'll see.
Fair enough.
We've barely finished, like we really haven't even finished technically our book for this year.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know, It's all building.
As you said to me in conversation the other day, very rarely, if ever, does a school teacher finish their textbook anyway.
Right. They don't do the whole textbook.
Yeah, they don't do the whole textbook, so it's okay if you don't complete an entire textbook to some extent. With your homeschool stuff,
there's a few foundational things I have to hit, but other than that, it's not a big deal.
Yep. Love it. Well, that's kind of big life updates. Obviously, we took a pause with the podcast for a little bit.
So we had the pause, and we found out we were pregnant after.
Yes.
Correct. Like after that last episode, that aired, whatever. What do you say? Aired?
Yeah.
It's not a radio show.
The airwaves.
Yeah.
The internet's the airwaves. It goes through the air.
So the break wasn't meant to be as long as it was. I remember being like, no, just like 3 weeks and we'll be back.
I told you otherwise.
You were like, no, 6 weeks. And so it was just like, okay, whatever. But obviously found out I was pregnant, and bedtimes shift with kids as they grow. So the time that we do our podcast is after kids go to sleep. So
and as the days get longer and there's more sunlight, it also
we stay up
makes
later.
It shift and
So we did have to kind of pause it a little bit longer than anticipated. I felt pretty good in this pregnancy. I've had some very tired days,
sure,
as I have every right to feel, but for the most part,
sometimes too. I'm just thinking with the keep going.
Speaking of, I think we have one waking up.
It's okay. We'll keep rolling until it's a full on wake up.
But so I've been feeling pretty good this pregnancy. We're due, 1st of November, end of October, more likely. So I'm getting close to halfway. Yeah. We haven't decided if we're going to find out gender yet, but that appointment is next week, which by the time this airs, who knows what we have decided.
Yeah. No or not know by then.
Yeah.
And then, life stuff. Next up on the podcast, I think we got kind of 3 mini-series, at least. If not full-on longer ones. And I noted the order you wrote them in. We're almost going in reverse order of our catchphrase of faith, family, and food. We're going to go food, family, and faith.
That's funny, yeah.
The food one first up is feeding the family. So I got a little thing written, but what did you mean by feeding the family when you kind of wrote that out?
Yeah, I guess my thoughts are just, it's going to be centered around children a good bit, like feeding your children. But like as a family, just like making mealtimes simple, enjoyable, nourishing to the body and to the soul. So I see that you wrote that, but that's very much a phrase of mine.
Yep.
And so how we can do that just in our home. And, it doesn't have to look the same for everyone, but just kind of give some good tips on that. And also just knowing that mealtime can sometimes be really stressful. I mean, like when you talk to people with kids, sometimes that's like the biggest point of contention. Mm-hmm. So as the dietitian, obviously a lot of my, like what I'm thinking towards is how we sometimes handle those stressful things and the challenges that come with children, and they're learning how to eat. Everything's new for them. They're learning, and I think sometimes we expect it to go quicker, or to be better, or to be more something than it is. And so I really just want to approach it from a way that just probably makes you think about it differently, but also just helps it be less stressful and more peaceful, because I think that we put the stress on ourselves because we have these expectations that are what's the word I'm looking for? It's like we're putting these expectations on that our children can't meet and shouldn't be able to meet at their age or at their level of development. So a lot of that I think will be in there too, just because I want to protect the babies from getting, disordered eating patterns because of the way that their parents chose to feed them.
Fair enough.
So it's part of it too. Yeah. But yeah.
I think that. The next one will be in our family category, and it's going to be anybody who, or most people say it that way, who would say family is something part of their life. So we're talking towards marriage. I guess there's just some categories that doesn't fit, but anyway, marriage stuff.
Yeah.
So SYMBIS is something you and I got trained in probably
several years ago. Yeah.
SYMBIS stands for Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. It was a book before it was a assessment and premarital counseling tool that it is now. So I actually never read the book, but we're trained in through hours worth of videos and stuff that we had to do forever ago. And so this is what we use when we do premarital counseling with people, but it is also designed in a way where it can be used for a couple who are already married.
Yeah.
They have some different questions that'll come up based on some of your early info you put in based on whether you're engaged or married. There's even categories for people who are getting remarried after a divorce and stuff like that. And so we'll dig into what all that is and what it looks like, but just kind of from the big picture perspective of how do we take two broken people and put them together to make them one and do this in a way that's healthy.
Yeah, and like taking into consideration like personalities and mental things there, because it's not just about just saying, oh yeah, we are bonded and we've made a covenant and now we're
stuck together.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do we do this in
how we do this well?
Healthy ways.
Yeah, because we're human and we have all kinds of beautiful differences and variations and individualism from person to person. So yeah.
And then on the faith side, we're going to talk about creeds and catechisms, what those are and why they're actually really coming back around. I hadn't had a chance to read it, but there's currently in my web browser an article pulled up titled "Why the Nicene Creed is Popular Again."
Yeah.
And I've caught a few things here and there recently where people are talking about them, and it's something comically we had already suggested before this article popped up. We've talked about catechisms briefly once before, but didn't really get into them. So we're going to talk through what all that is and why it is, why they are good discipleship tools.
Yeah.
We kind of already did this, but we haven't actually asked this question in ages. So Virginia, what's something messy in your life that you're loving right now?
Okay, so I already answered a few. I've said some things that could be an answer to this question.
Absolutely, you have.
I kind of have two.
Go for it.
So one is our craft table, which if we just pan the camera just a little bit, you'd see it.
Yep.
I got this cute little organizational thing from a garage sale, and that helped. It didn't help contain the mess, but it helped in a way. But it's just messy over there, and we try to keep it somewhat organized so that Luna feels free to play and to craft. Mm-hmm. And it's super messy all the time, but I really like it because it's a free play kind of thing. It's like whenever you get a hankering to go create something, like you have access to everything you need. Mm-hmm. And I love that. And I honestly don't care how messy it gets.
Yeah. I try to keep it picked up off the floor.
Like, yeah, it does get obviously it gets kind of difficult.
And throw it back on the table.
Especially with littles who pull things down. Littles. But I really like it. And so on the note of crafting, I just sewed my first item outside. Not my first item, but like
you sold
a quilt.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's called a crumb quilt. Mm-hmm. That's like the form of quilting that it is. And so you're taking the crumbs of your like leftover fabrics mm-hmm. and you're quilting it together
to make something. And it's messy
because it's crumbs. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you have all these little pieces of fabric, which I had to cut some of mine up so that they would be smaller. Because I don't have a whole lot of crumbs because I don't sew that much yet. But it was really fun. And it was like a puzzle, but not like, I don't like puzzles in the sense of like a puzzle mm-hmm. you put together. So, but it was like a puzzle for me. I was like, oh, I'm sewing this together. And then I was figuring it out because it's the first time I really kind of made something like that. But it was a hot dish or like a hot pad for a casserole dish size. So that was really fun because like it's like a messy, but it turns out really cute. Like when you get done with it, which is totally my style. Yep. Like to have no order, but then to come out like, oh, that was cute.
Yep, it was. It was good. Mine's more of a story, I guess, technically.
Okay.
So we went to the beach a couple weeks ago.
Yes, that was so lovely.
Yeah, it was nice. In the process of packing up all the things, I got my backpack loaded down with my books and my Bible, and was ready to roll. Mm-hmm. And I placed it in the same place I put it every day because I carry that backpack basically every day with my laptop and stuff. And it did not make it in the car. And while all of you were asleep, I was just driving down the road, and I went, my backpack's not back there, is it? And we stopped, and I confirmed it was not there. And I was just getting good into a book, and we're going like a week worth of beach trips.
Like
I mean,
6 days,
it's good time to be reading. But thankfully,
you grabbed our Kindle last minute.
The Kindle Fire,
which has it's like a screen.
Yeah. So the whole purpose of it was just on the off chance that car ride was just going miserable and we wanted to rely on a screen to settle them down a little bit for a video, which we did not, but had it in the book series I'm reading, which is a 15-book series. I literally already have all the books, paperback books for it, but recently they had gone on sale for like $18 for the whole series. For ebooks.
Yeah.
And so bought the ebooks for it, and you know what? Have rediscovered my
He's been walking around with a Kindle
Paperwhite, because I also had that. Didn't have it on the trip, but started using it when I got home.
Well, you also busted the screen.
I busted the screen of my
the Kindle Fire. You dropped it.
But yeah, I've been using the Paperwhite because the only time I ever get to read, especially fiction stuff, at home is in between picking up a kid or doing something like that.
It's a lot easier to hold.
And yeah, because I'm reading these really thick books, and it's just been easy to hold. And even though my reading rhythm is ridiculously messy, and sometimes I restart the same paragraph 15 times before I finish reading it,
it's been
useful.
I think you said the reason why you had not been, you kind of gotten away from the Kindle, maybe, I think I remember this, is because it looks like you're looking at a tablet.
Oh, yeah.
So but the Paperwhite is...
The Paperwhite is very clear.
It's
the
like
kids
just words.
They've looked at it a few times and have gotten over it for
the most part. What are you looking at?
Every now and then, the other day they did ask, can we call somebody on that? I was like, no, it literally just reads books. And they're like, so like you can't do this or this or this, and I was like, no. Literally, this reads books. That's all it does. It reads
like,
books.
okay, over it.
And yeah, they were kind of over it. They still continued to hang on me, but they didn't care about it anymore.
And so just for the readers, it's a 15-book series. The readers,
the listeners. We're talking about reading.
It's a 15-book series, and you were in book 11.
I'm in book 11.
Yeah, you've been reading for 2 years.
Technically 12 because I've read the prequel as well. So I'm in the 12th book that I've read.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
So just so that people understand, like you were pretty far into this.
Yes.
When you left that book at home.
Very deep into it, and they're long books, and it was one of my few opportunities to do some extended reading.
Yes. I was so glad we had the Kindle.
Oh yeah, no, I read
and that you got it for a deal.
Yeah,
you're like, can I buy this for $18? I was like, please buy it for $18 so that you won't be miserable.
Yeah, no, to buy just one of those typically is $18, and so I got the whole
more
series for like just the ebook of it.
Yeah,
about
18, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more. Yeah. Bucks. Well, so the Wheel of Time series is what he's talking about, which came out on as a show on Amazon Prime, and so Tyler got me watching it. We watched it. He started reading this series. It's got a very like fan base. Like it's got a very
huge,
huge fan base. And so we watched the 3rd season that just came out recently, and I was like, okay,
top tier.
This is very
season
good.
1, meh.
Yeah, they
season
got better.
2, decent. Season 3, top tier.
And I was like, okay, I'm really liking this. And hearing Tyler talk about, because you've been reading them for 2 years now.
Oh, this is year 3.
Yeah, and so it's like hearing him talk about the books, I was kind of like, I think I'd like those, but I never feel like I can read them. So I started audio listening to the books.
Yeah.
Started with, obviously, number 1. And I'm really enjoying that, too.
Yeah.
So I took social media off my phone. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I can't access it or don't get on it, but I just don't.
Much often.
And so... I listen to a book now, which is wild because I'm really not never have thought I would like that.
Yeah.
So
the unfortunate part is Amazon has canceled it after their
that's
best
the
season
sad part
of the show, despite the fact that it did make money. It didn't make a high enough profit margin for them to feel confident in season 4.
Yeah, I think they had to choose between Rings of Power and Wheel of Time.
And they chose Ring of Power.
And they're Rings of Power, so now they're going to try and put all their money into that.
Yeah, it was already the one they were leaning more towards. Part of the reason why I think they're going to continue leaning towards it is because they've already ordered remakes of the movies. And so I think they are already deep into pre-production of that stuff. And so
we're really hoping somebody will pick up Wheel of Time,
though. Dude, it's quality. I think
it was really good.
Their casting was done well, especially when they recast Matt.
I found a really good article. I don't think I sent it to you, but it was saying for the reasons that Amazon chose to cancel it, it doesn't it's not really fair because when you think about Amazon and their setup, they aren't really giving shows a chance.
Oh no, they
so their platform is pretty
which is honestly
difficult.
All the streamers these days, they're quick to cancel shows.
Yeah. Well, and so here's some of the other points they made. When you get on Amazon Prime, even your most recent show is not always at the top. You have to go look for it. And so just the clunkiness of their website, or not website, but their streaming site, platform. Yeah. And then the other thing was, and now that we're trying to put a book series like that, a big fantasy world, into 8 seasons, that's not fair.
8 episodes.
8 episodes, sorry. 8 episodes in a season.
They shoved 2 books, which are each 600 plus pages.
Yeah, and so that's it's kind of well, you're not really giving the series a chance to grow and be real. And so then the other point was, because they base it off of views. Well, it also doesn't make sense because of the vast amount of options we have these days. It doesn't really make sense for you to base your viewership on the first amount of views that you get when a show comes out, because there's people still finishing other shows and they're going to get to that one when they can. And even Netflix has experienced this. I think they said with Cobra Kai, because they took Cobra Kai from Hulu or HBO or somewhere. Maybe or was it YouTube? Might have been YouTube.
Oh yeah, it was from YouTube.
So
they did one season on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's right. I
and so,
that.
But like when it came to Netflix, and as it continued to go on, and people started to watch it and to catch on and to keep watching it, it became, a very popular show. And it's like, that's another thing.
A new Karate Kid movie because of that show.
Yes, and so it's like you're not even giving the whole series a chance. And so it's just like, boo on you. So we're just all bummed about it, but it's fine.
Yeah. Welcome to Entertainment Corner at the end of the episode. That was completely unplanned. But Wheel of Time. If you like fantasy books and you've got lots of time on your hand to read really long, thick books, go for it.
And even the books are fairly... Can I say they're fairly clean? You've read?
Oh, yeah. They're, as far as...
definitely
sexually, they're very clean in that
very
realm.
Clean.
Even though it does happen occasionally, it's not a highlight, and Robert Jordan
does
not write sex scenes.
Yeah, so you're not reading about it.
Comically, because his wife told him he wrote them very poorly.
And majority, I think, is like they got married, and right? That's kind of how you made it sound like it was like they didn't even talk about that person doing that until they were married, and even then, like it was off scene. It wasn't like he didn't write it out or whatever. So you're not reading it, which is that's a plus. Nice. And even cuss words.
There's fantasy cuss words.
Like blood and ashes.
They make up ones. Yeah,
I guess so. But you're not reading the F word every 2 seconds,
which is nice.
That's nice.
Even the bloody goriness, like if you want to read it into it, it's there. But you have to imagine it. It's not overwritten. Yeah, it's not gross and all that, and there's no like because I don't know, there's no like vulgarness or like any of that. So it's actually like and the TV show, they went a little spicy. Yeah, and they were trying to draw in some of the Game of Thrones fans. Yeah, which you say that and like to compare like because there was no nudity. Yeah, no. Yeah, pretty much, and so. But even the show, they keep it fairly like censored, but they have more like relationships that are on the show than are in the book. And intimate moments, but like again, like they keep it still pretty censored for the show. So that was like kind of nice too. So anyways, just FYI if you were wondering about a fantasy show and or book series. Yep. There you go. Well, thank you for hanging out with us on this episode of the Bowls of Life podcast. We are coming back, like we said, with Feeding Your Family, talking about marriage through SYMBIS, and also going to talk about some creeds and catechisms in the coming weeks and months. So make sure you go ahead and get subscribed wherever it is you're listening to this podcast or watching it on YouTube for that matter. Subscribe, that way it notifies you when a new episode comes out. Join our mailing list, our email list. We don't send snail mail. That's way too expensive. But join our email list. You can do that through our website, www.bowlsoflife.com. Okay. Because you have to say the www because it's not assumed, right? Just kidding. Anyway, subscribe, join the email list, and thanks for joining us on this podcasting journey. We will see you again soon.